My name is Frank Rock. This is the House Foreign Sports Channel coming at you. This is your Tennessee versus Purdue Elite Eight preview. I want to get right into my keys to victory for this game. I'm going to give a fearless prediction about tomorrow, and then we'll kind of take a look at just some things in between, and we'll kind of look at the road ahead as well for what could possibly be Tennessee's next opponent if they were to advance tomorrow. But as I get into this thing right here, of course, we go back to Tennessee. They have already faced Purdue this year, lost 71-67 to them. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to have to bring it tomorrow. Let's make no mistake about it. They will have to bring it tomorrow. And, the road is there for Tennessee to make a run here. If they could get by tomorrow, you get Duke or NC State next week, and then your odds are you'll face Connecticut. Of course, Alabama just beat Clemson tonight, and could you get a Tennessee-Alabama round 3 in the Final Four national championship? I don't know. The way UConn's playing, I think it's going to take a lot for anybody to beat them, including Tennessee. But you play the games for a reason. But I've broken this down. I've looked into it. Last night early this morning, when we went to about 2 o'clock on the live post game from the Creighton show last night, we went ahead and got into kind of breaking this game down and looking at some trends with Purdue. There's not a lot of weaknesses here. Okay, you've got the best center in the country. You got a real good point guard. You've got other good players around. This is a very good basketball team. They were basically top 3 all year long. They shoot the ball well. They rebound well. They get to the free throw line. The one place you can get them a little bit. Tennessee did it the first time around, and that's probably what kept that game the way it was. But when Purdue, they talked about it in the press conference today with Painter and a couple of the players. If you get Purdue into 14 or more turnovers, they went 6-4 this year. So they still won more games than they lost in that regard. So it's not like they're bad when they turn it over that many times. But looking at the assist to turnover ratio and points off turnovers, Tennessee has about a 6 on average, a 6-point advantage on that. Tennessee's got to win that battle tomorrow night. That was the battle ultimately, in my opinion, and when I look at it, that was the difference last night, because Creighton shot really well. They got their free throws, rebounds, depending on where you look, was Tennessee won that rebounding edge, but it wasn't by much. But the big difference in that game was the turnovers. That was Tennessee had 10 points off turnovers. Creighton had 0. There's your ball game right there. Okay, there is your ball game. Of course, Tennessee did a great job getting to the free throw line last night. 18 attempts to 13 for Creighton. 3 more points there as well. So, you're looking at a 13-point difference, where Creighton, on the other hand, had that 3-point battle. Purdue shoots about 41% 3-point range. They don't shoot a ton of three-pointers, though. They've shot about 100 and some less than Tennessee has on the year. So, Tennessee averages making more threes, but they also average taking more per game. First time around, the big thing that stood out to me was the free throws. Purdue shot 48 free throws first time around. No way tomorrow. Tennessee shot 30. So it was a very tightly called game the first time. I don't see that happening tomorrow. I see them letting them play a little bit more. I hope it doesn't. Painter tried to put the narrative out today. Tennessee plays physical. They play like a football team and stuff. They played physical against Creighton. That was the difference last night as well. It was a big one. So looking at the first matchup around, Edey had 23 and 10. You can live with that. You can live with that if you're Tennessee. Okay, that's close to his average for the year. A little bit below on rebounds, like a point, maybe 2 points below on points. You can live with that. You could probably live with him hitting his average. Lawyer for Purdue the first time around, though, Fletcher Lawyer went for 27, 6 rebounds, 11 free throws on the night. That was I think a career high for him. Other than that, I mean, they only had 4 guys score other than that. And it was 8-6, 4-3. So basically 2 guys won you that game that night. On the other hand, Tennessee, Connect went for 16. Jordan Gainey went for, I was about to say 13, 15 in that game. Meshack 9, Vescovy 8. Jonas Adu, Tobey Awaka combined 25 minutes, both fouled out in that game. Can't have that tomorrow. So you got to think they're going to have to be careful. How are they going to play him? Do they try to front Edey? I don't know how many teams have tried that, to be honest. But one thing I have seen is, one thing that may make a difference is Zakai Ziegler is healthy this time. He's fully healthy. There's no minutes restriction. So how are they going to guard Purdue? Could they go full court against them? All right. That's an option. I've not looked to see how teams have played them, who have beaten them this year. But I know one thing I've seen is you may see them trying to force Edey out to get the ball instead of just being able to plant his flag and take it down low. Now, I'm sure most teams have tried that before too. Not an easy task to do at all. But key number 1 for me, win that turnover battle, force Purdue into 15 or more. There's your difference in points there. Keep the free throws low. There's not going to be close to 70 free throws shot in this game tomorrow. Purdue on average, let me see what it is. I had it up here a minute ago. Purdue on average for free throws shoots, they make about 17.6 per game. Okay, so give or take 18 per game. They've attempted 141 more than Tennessee on the year. Rebounding, Purdue averages about a rebound and a half more per game. Tennessee doesn't have to win this battle, but they got to keep it closer than they did Maui. It was 44-31 Purdue on that one. You got to keep it, I think, within 5 on that. Purdue shoots 41% from three-point range. I think a key, you got to keep them under that. I don't feel you can get away with tomorrow letting Purdue shoot over 40% from three-point range. I just don't. I don't think that's realistic. You're going to have to bird dog them. You're going to have to hold them to where they are. I really think 35% is a good goal for them to hold them tomorrow. Vescovy, it sounds like will be good to go tomorrow, so that should help with guarding them. Also, again, Edey, if he gets his average, I think you're okay. You just can't have 1 or 2 more guys go off. And they have some really good players. Make no mistake about it. Braden Smith's an excellent point guard. He can triple-double you. If you don't watch, he had 15 assists against Gonzaga last night. This is not the only guys. You got to watch out for Lawyer. What went wrong in that matchup the first time that it allowed him to go off like he did? I mean, they've got other guys here as well. They got a couple more. They have Lance Jones averaging 12 on the season. Well, that's your 4 guys. Mason Gillis, 6.8. Trey Kaufman-Wren, 6.6. So it's a tall task. And these guys want it. They really want to get to that Final Four. That's something that's not been good to them either. So both these teams are going to be wanting it. Rick Barnes wants it. He stated all year the goal's Monday night. So what's Tennessee got to do to get forward? I talked about that. That's kind of my keys. From a Tennessee offensive standpoint, Dalton Connect's going to have to do his thing tomorrow. He scores 16 points. I think his team will have a tough time. If he's around that 20-25 range and you get some other help, James has got to play like he did yesterday. Not so much the points, but he's got to be able to hit his shots. If Vescovy's in, he's got to be able to hit his shots. Ziegler got to be able to break it down. A big thing, Adu and Awaka, they have to stay out of foul trouble tomorrow. If they're in foul trouble and out, we'll see. You'll be seeing a lot of JP Estrella tomorrow. And we need Jonas Adu, whatever's been going on with him, for him to put it past and come out ready to play tomorrow, because he frankly, for a few weeks now, has not been good. And I would say even going maybe about 4 weeks. Now, he wasn't good against Mississippi State. He wasn't good against Kentucky. I guess he had his moments against Kentucky, but I'm going to say he's going on a month of underachieving. It's time for him to step it up tomorrow. What better time than against the best center in the country? And you can say what you want about the guy. He is the best center in college basketball. He's going to be the player of the year, whether we like it or not. Not saying I necessarily agree with it, but you know, he is still what he is. All right. And you got to respect that regardless of what it is. He knows how to use his size, he knows how to use his game. Purdue knows how to use him properly. It's a very well coached team, it's a good team. But I want to go out on this limb tomorrow. Now, obviously, because it's Tennessee channel, how else would I go? I'm not going to come up and pick against Tennessee. That ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. On average, Purdue averages 83.8 per game. Tennessee about 79. We'll say it's going to go lower now. We'll go Tennessee 75, Purdue 73. Tennessee's marching on to face the winner, Duke and NC State. And then they will beat them and be playing for the national championship next Monday night. One man's fearless prediction. Would I bet money on it? Nope. Not a single penny, actually. But they'll have to play their best game of the year tomorrow. This is the best team Tennessee's faced all year. I don't think there's a doubt about that. I'll be live right after the game tomorrow around 4:30. Hopefully we'll be celebrating our first Final Four in school history. If not, we'll have group therapy tomorrow and talk about it. But we're going to remember the good things on it tomorrow. We may be frustrated if it happens that tomorrow is it. But there's going to be a lot of good to remember this year. But we're not going down that road yet. We're going to be hoping that we're still talking about going to Arizona next week. But I hope you'll join me on that. But before we do, make sure you like this, share it, subscribe to the channel. It is free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything on this. And there'll be plenty more. Hopefully basketball season keeps going. Once it's over, I'll be covering, keeping updates on what's going on with the roster, with, going up to Dalton Connect, getting drafted this summer as well. And then, of course, baseball is going to amp up. More baseball coverage is going to amp up here as we get going, too. But my name's Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. It's coming up on midnight. When you wake up tomorrow, remember what the day is all about. He is alive. He is risen. Have a great day. As always, go Vols.